All right, guys, so let's get into this NFL free agency frenzy. And it was a free agency frenzy. We'll talk about some of the trades here in a minute, too, and the rest of the league. But let's start with the Cowboys. The good Bishop Dick Whittle has his own strong opinions about Cowboys. We're all Cowboys fans. Camille, raised Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
We all live in LA now. You got to put up with this Rams and Chargers BS. But anyway.
It's not like they're very good either.
Anyway, Dak gets the franchise tag. And what do you think about that, Mr. Whittle?
I mean, I think they had to do something, right? They couldn't let him hit the open market. But I think the question is, what is holding this thing up? You know, I mean, does Dak and his camp want way too much money? Do they want a Russell Wilson kind of deal? Or
absolutely, which is absurd.
What's going on, and why can't they figure something out? That's the real question.
Yeah.
Well,
I like the tag for right now. I would have rather him got a good deal, got it done with a good deal. But you can't overpay when you have other needs on the team unless he's just makes the whole team that much better, like an Aaron Rodgers or even Russell Wilson. But I do think he could turn into somewhat of like a Russell Wilson if McCarthy can really work with him, because I do think he's a good leader. He's never in trouble. The guys in the locker room love him. He's the perfect face for somebody like the Cowboys. And I would have liked to have seen a long-term thing get done, but nonetheless, he's got another year to prove it. And if he proves it, he'll either get huge money here or huge money somewhere else. But Camille does not like this.
So you don't think they're going to get a deal done by the beginning of the season?
I do. I think they will. I think they'll figure it out, because to me, that was the point of them franchising him. I think they're expecting to get that done, but you never know, dude. And you never know what the way the league season's going to play out with this thing going on. So that makes me wonder how easy it'll be to actually get it done without them both really just, compromising. But Camille hates it, and let's hear her.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I mean, I think, especially when you told me about how he wanted $40 million, I think that's absolutely absurd. I don't know in what world he's living in that that's so.
Well, quarterbacks are judged by winning, and look at his record, and that honestly, that is probably why his agent.
He's a winner.
His agent is.
What do you mean he's a winner?
I mean, look at his record. Dude.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
He wins games.
He does win games.
I mean, statistically,
this
he's
year
the
was
top
a
10
little
quarterback
different,
in almost every single category.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when he never wins anything, and
She
then
thinks
I
he'll
get to
never
say
win a
I
Super
told.
Bowl.
No, he's not winning a Super Bowl. I'm 100% sure he is not winning a Super Bowl. You can
hot sports
quote
opinion.
me on it. There's no way. He just doesn't have what it takes to do it.
Any last thoughts before we move on to Amari?
We all know my opinion. It's not even fun anymore.
Yeah.
Listen, I think he's
I hate him.
a fantastic quarterback. What are our options?
He's
Also,
got good
That
grit.
I agree with you.
He's got great grit.
I think what are
I'm a
our
fan.
options? I agree with
I'm a fan.
that, but everything else I don't agree with.
All right, so let's get to Amari. He gets 5 years, $20 million. A little more than you want to pay for a top wide receiver.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's really good. He had some cold streaks last year, but I think the offense, I think Dak being better will help that. And I think there's no doubt McCarthy.
So
makes
he's
that
the
better. But he's the number one.
Yeah, this makes him the second highest paid wide receiver behind Julio Jones in terms of average per year.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about, that he's making more money per year
But he is produced.
than Odell
No matter how
Beckham,
you
Michael
chop it,
Thomas.
He's produced.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be a round robin for them, because whoever gets the next contract, that'll be more. And, the top five are going to do this back and forth. So do you like the Amari trade, or the Amari signing, Camille?
I do.
You like him enough?
I do. I think
What do you think, Michael?
does what he needs to
Michael
do.
Dick?
I mean, I think, they were pot committed, right? At this point.
Mm-hmm.
They
They
gave
wanna
away
win
every
in this
first round pick
window.
for him. They had to keep him there. There was no way they weren't going to keep him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad they got it done. So let's move to what they've done since, because they did lose Byron Jones to Miami. They paid him way too much money for a guy that doesn't get any interceptions. We agree on that?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think the comparison of a cornerback and their interception production is not quite the best way
Sure,
to.
but you should at least have
But
a
I didn't
couple,
think
right?
it was
Or
worth
at least
it.
one or two. He had zero
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah, the cornerback group is an issue.
I don't know, man. I kind of they re-signed Anthony Brown, who I think is decent.
God.
They really like Jordan Lewis.
What a
and
give up
Jordan
signing.
Lewis is kind of a baller, though. Jordan Lewis is a baller. They didn't give Brown that much money, dude. But and then Awuzie is pretty good. He's physical enough. I think they did bring in Clinton Dix, and I didn't really like that because he's been with a bunch of teams in a few years. But they want to play cover 3, and that's why they brought him in, because he'll fit that a lot better than what we've had. And he can ball hawk if he doesn't get beat deep, which does happen sometimes. But, I think look, they signed Gerald McCoy, which I love that signing, just Boomer Sooner.
Yeah.
Well, what I like about it
He's
is
a real
it seems like, and again, my sports leader Bob Sturm mentioned this just a couple days ago in The Athletic.
He's the greatest.
But that it seems like, in fact, I'm going to read this quote. Actually, I brought a quote on the
nice.
podcast
I brought a
today.
Way to bring something
Because
to the pod, Dick.
Yeah.
I really liked it. He said, all indications seem to suggest that Dallas is willing to wait to see what sort of personnel they can assemble in March before marrying themselves to a specific approach defensively.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's
which I like.
Yeah,
They're going
I think
best player available.
I like that. I think if they draft all D, take care of the couple things we need on offense, I think we'll be in pretty decent shape. I think, Philly got that. We'll talk about Philly's acquisition in a trade here coming up, but I think these two teams are going to war it for a while, and I'm hoping Carson Wentz is going to come up small like he has, because I think he's extremely
Carson
talented,
Wentz
but he
can't stay healthy.
He comes up small too. He got hurt in that playoff game they lost and never came back in. He's just, I don't think he can play through it most of the time. But anyway, let's move on. Any final thoughts on Cowboys stuff? We haven't got to the draft yet. We'll do that another time, bring you back. Anybody have any final thoughts on the free agency stuff for the Cowboys?
Not particularly. There's nothing we can do about it now.
Yeah, I know. We're here to discuss. So.
It just always seems like the Joneses are one step behind everybody else in free
But
agency.
they think they're a step ahead, though.
Yeah, they think they're smarter than
I always
everybody.
defend the Joneses, but I will say I do agree with Whittle on that.
You can't defend Jerry at all, ever, really.
I
other
love
than being
him.
a good businessman.
I love him.
He's a good character. You like those Super Bowls very much now. He's very much there now.
He's a great character.
Yeah, he is.
All right, well, let's get to the rest.